Wrestling fans, welcome to the 8th installment of MWF Extra, our online exclusive here on BostonWrestling.com. I'm Dan Marotti, continuing this tremendous discussion we've had with Rich Swann, who will be joining us live Saturday, December the 29th, as we make our debut at the Everett Rec Center, Everett, Massachusetts, for Road to the Gold. Carlito, the Boogeyman, the Road to the Gold competition we talked about so much, Rich. We are really looking forward to this big event.
I'm looking forward to it also.
We talked so much about the 12 athletes that are going to be competing that night. Tonight, where you are a newcomer here to the MWF, yet to compete, I want to talk a little bit about you. You have this great, extensive background in the king of sports professional wrestling. One question I always like to ask the guys is, what got you interested in wrestling when you were a young Rich Swann?
Well, when I was young baby Rich Swann, I was watching the Go-Go Power Rangers. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Power Rangers, but you got to be familiar with them.
I know who they are.
You know about the Power Rangers. So I was a kid watching the Power Rangers, and my older brother walks in. It was about 9 o'clock. No, it wasn't 9. It was about 8, and I was about 5. And he takes the remote from me, and I look at him like, "What are you doing?" And he changes the channel, to Monday Night Nitro. First thing I see was Psychosis versus Rey Mysterio. I'm seeing these guys, acrobats, flipping, everything, and it's just catching my eye. It's everything that I was just watching on the Power Rangers, but it's real life. And I was hooked ever since. So that's what got my interest right there. I've always loved the fast-paced action.
When you were younger, who were some of your favorites? As you continued to grow older and wiser as you continued to watch wrestling?
Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio Jr. I threw a swerve right there at people.
Were you a fan of Rey Mysterio Sr.?
Yes.
Oh, really?
They're good.
Okay.
Both of Rey Mysterio Sr. and Jr., who is Rey Mysterio's uncle, anyway, but that's a different story. We're a tag team in Mexico. So I did a little bit of my research at a very young age, but Rey Mysterio, Psychosis, Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, those are some of my favorites. And then, like, the entertainment aspect of it, when I started watching the World Wrestling Federation, the World Wrestling Entertainment, Stone Cold, definitely, Bret Hart, definitely, Shawn Michaels, Diesel, Razor, loved it.
Now, not to disage you, so to speak, but Diesel was around for his big run. You were only 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah, it was about. Well, you remember the Coliseum videotapes?
Yes.
My brother used to get those all the time.
Oh, okay.
So we'd watch those before Monday Night Raw or WCW, and like we'd pre-game Raw by watching Coliseum video, and I'd be like, oh, that's Kevin Nash from Nitro. And I figured out about Diesel, and it was awesome. Like, I loved that stuff. It just caught my eye, and I fell in love with the sport, and I'll never.
So you were almost a student of the game before?
Like since I was yay high.
Since you were a little Swan?
I was a little Swan. My wings haven't fully, spread out. I was a little guy in the game.
Interesting enough. At what age and what got you to the point where you decided this isn't just something I want to watch on TV or on video, this is something I actually want to physically do, compete inside that squared circle? What got you to that point?
Well, what got me to the point was I had turned 15, and I had moved away. I'm going to be a little bit of a Debbie Downer here.
Okay.
Shoot, straight story. I was 15, and I was about to turn 16, and I was going to move to York, Pennsylvania. And I was living in Baltimore with my mother, and she had very bad health problems. She had lupus, and my mom and I, we looked up some things. We were like, okay, if you really want to be a professional wrestler, let's check into it. So we checked into it, and we saw there was a school in York, Pennsylvania, and my aunt was living there at the time, so me and my mom decided, you know, if this is something I really want to do, move up there. So I moved there, and about 2 months after I moved there, before I could even sign up, my mom passed away from the lupus.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, you know, that's something that drove me to go to wrestling school and become a professional wrestler and never let it go. Went to that school when I was 15, or when I was 16, just turned 16. Been at it ever since, traveling the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's a compelling story, to say the least.
Yeah, you know.
And look at where it's got you so far. 16 years old, you're going to wrestling school.
Yep.
For those that, you know, really are just fans of watching it on television, what kind of dedication did it take to be able to go to this school? How often were you there? What were you doing?
Well,
what got you to the point from when you started at this wrestling school with so much going on in your real life, to the point where you started going out to events, starting to travel, and so on?
Well, this is what it was. From Monday through Friday, it was wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, study, school, go to school, come home, do your homework. After homework, you go to wrestling practice from 5 to 10 o'clock at night.
Wow.
Yeah, we were there for 5 hours, and I was just getting the living crap kicked out of me. Like learning, like just getting beat up just so hard, and then coming home, trying to rest up, take a shower, wake up, do it all over again from Monday through Friday. There was no days off. And then by the time when I turned 17, I started going to shows from York, Pennsylvania to New Jersey. There was a promotion called Pro Wrestling Unplugged that I used to go to out there, and they kind of got me started up with the roots. A guy named Trent Acid, Johnny Cashmere.
Okay. Yep.
Like, they got me all started out. And ever since, like I said, I've been going strong. No breaks, no days off.
Your outstanding talent, personality inside the squared circle led you to great success throughout the United States.
Yes.
What began these tours? Let's talk about your first international tour. Where, when, how, what, why?
My first international tour was with a place called WXW Germany.
Okay.
And whew, I was 18 years old. The best time of my life.
Why was that?
I was working with a company called Combat Zone Wrestling, and based out of Philadelphia. Worked in the historic ECW arena, and the promoter comes up to me and says, "Hey, we want you to come to Germany. We want you to get that international tour." So I'm like, I'm excited. I'm 18 years old. I just graduated. I don't have anything to do but wrestle. And we go to Germany. There's women, there's beer, there's food, there's beautiful German skies, there's airplanes, there's limos, there's cars, crazy, nice, fast cars. There's parties everywhere. And I'm just living the dream of an 18-year-old wanting to become a superstar, wanting to become this glamorous wrestler. And here it is. I'm in Germany, and the crowd was just so amazing. Like, I'm in the ring, the crowd, there's no guardrails at all. The crowd's just up against the ring, beating on the ring, and you're just feeding off the energy to the crowd. And it's amazing. It's something I wouldn't give up for the world, just that first tour of Germany, and it just sparked my interest on, okay, I've been here, now I want to test here, see what that's like. Now I want to see what this is like. And it makes you, like, once you get that first international tour, you got a bug. You want to travel all over the world because you're curious on what everything is like. So.
Well, that would be good for a lot of some of the superstars in the MWF that don't want to take a 20-minute drive to the studio, but that's, I'll save that for my Facebook account. But nonetheless, was it on this, how long was this tour of Germany?
This tour of Germany was a week long. So, like, I was there for a week every day wrestling, like training, and then shows, and the ring was really, really stiff. Oh my God.
How many times have you been to Germany now?
I've been to Germany twice.
Twice?
Yeah.
Was that, you mentioned Scotland in our first interview, was it during one of those same tours, or was that something totally different?
Yeah, it was one of the same tours, yes.
I've never heard of wrestling in Scotland before. What was it like to experience Scotland?
It was awesome. Like I said, like in that area, it's beer. Everybody's having parties.
Big on the beer now.
They're big in Europe. They're big on the beer.
Oh, I thought it was you now. All right.
Oh no. It's tradition over there. They're big on the beer.
Okay.
I mean, like the Scottish and the Irish and all those guys, the Germans, they love it.
Did you get a kill?
Oh, I didn't get a kill. But,
No. Well.
But you know.
You did get a Ribera Steak House
I
Jacket,
did
which I'm very jealous of.
In Japan, I did get one of those.
But that's a different story for a different time. What about Mexico? I know you said you headed back to Mexico relatively soon.
Mexico.
For you said a week or so? Or?
Yes. Mexico, they treat you like a superhero. It's a little
superhero.
They treat you like a superhero.
Explain to the fans at home, how does Rich Swann go from Baltimore native to York, Pennsylvania to New Jersey, traveling through Germany, Scotland, all over the United States? Then he winds up in Mexico now, not only being treated as a professional wrestling, but as a superhero.
Like, maybe it's a little bit of exaggeration. Well, I don't know.
It's your story. Tell us how it is.
They treat you like they're always there at the building to come get you early. They always take you to wherever you want to, like whatever you want to do, you can do it. Whenever you walk out of a building, the people come running up to you, the fans, they come running up to you, asking for your autograph, asking for pictures. They want to buy you things. They want to take you out places. But in Mexico, it's a little scary because they got a little bit of stuff going on around that area, so you don't want to get kidnapped. But it's very fun, and like it's very family oriented. Like they have the mask. That's a big thing in Mexico, the mask. Like,
did they try and make you Mystico #2?
No, but funny story, in York, Pennsylvania, I was El Negro Mysterio. Yes. Which means the Black Mystery.
No,
Mystery. So it's okay.
I got that. I know very little Spanish, but I understood that.
It's okay. But yeah, I was El Negro Mysterio, and that was pretty fun.
Really?
It was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. Like, I didn't have a Rey Mysterio mask, but like it was similar. They custom made it and everything. But
how many times have you been to Mexico now?
Just one time before. This is my second tour coming up.
Which promotion is it that you headed down for?
It's DTU.
DTU?
DTU.
I think that's the name of the arena in Worcester now, is it?
Oh, yeah.
No one here would know that, but that's a different story for a different time. I need more WWE experts in the studio, so I can remember the names of the buildings now that they're all updated.
Yeah.
But DTU is where you're going to go to compete. What's
DTU.
on the itinerary? Any idea, or you take it as it comes?
I just know we're going to Mexico City, Mexico City, and I think Nogales, Mexico, which I'm a little afraid about, but it's okay. We're going to take it as it goes. Because Nogales, Mexico is a pretty hard city in Mexico. So you got to really watch your P's and Q's in Mexico, because if you don't, some bad things can happen.
So I've heard throughout the years, but again, that's a different story for different times. So that's a busy December. Kick off the month, you're at MWF Studios, you head to Mexico, you try and prepare and study up for Road to the Gold on December the 29th. I'm sure 2013 is going to begin with a big bang for you.
And you brought that up. I did a little bit of study on Eddie Edwards in California this week.
You did?
Eddie,
okay.
Yeah, Eddie. I've been watching. I like that. Inside joke between me and Eddie Edwards.
Okay, well, I'll have to ask Eddie about that. I like to get to the meaning of these things.
I like that.
And then what I consider to be the granddaddy of them all, not to be confused with WrestleMania, but out of my 19 years of this insanity, since I began at the age of 13 with the late Boston bad boy Tony Rumble, being privileged and honored enough to be able to do work with the then WWF, now WWE, TNA, around ECW, and those people throughout the years. I mean,
Yes.
throughout the Northeast, I've traveled throughout the country. I have done things that probably millions of people would like to do in one way, shape, or form.
Yep.
But one thing I have never, ever done is go to the land of the rising sun, Japan, to appreciate the sport the way their culture does.
Yes.
And more than anything, I want a double, extra large tall, because of my long torso, Ribera Steak House Jacket, which you are, I don't know if this is something that Dylan would probably do, almost trying to tempt me to rip that jacket off of you and bring it to a tailor and try and make it my size. You have the Ribera Steak House Jacket from Japan.
I do. And
Tell us about your initial tour of Japan, where you've been, what you've done, and ultimately, I want to know the background to the jacket.
Well, when I went to Japan my first time, I was 19 years old.
Wow.
And it was 2 weeks before, or no, not 2 weeks before, about maybe a week before the big disaster that happened over there.
Okay.
So my first tour got cut short. I was supposed to be over there for a month, and it got cut short because of the disaster. Was just peaceful and respectful, like, you know, in America, how a crowd's all rowdy and everything, and they're not really watching for the sport. In Japan, you're really watching for the sport, and they're sitting down peaceful, respectful, and then when something happens that just blows their mind, they erupt. And it's the best feeling in the world. I know Scott Reed's over there right now, getting his P's and Q's right now, and you better be learning from those guys. But when I was over there, like, they really teach you the sport of this profession. They teach you how to really get down to the grits and gravy. They teach you how to really slow down and appreciate the sport. And getting to what I know you want me to talk about is this pretty jacket right here. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Cork and Hall.
I've heard of it,
Cork
yes.
and Hall. That's the one.
I've obviously never been.
That's like the ECW arena of Japan. Everybody, Hayabusa, Rey Mysterio, Psychosis, Mystico, even Sin Cara on WWE has been there. You know, I did that show. I was at Corkin. It was probably my 5th show at Corkin, and in Tokyo. And the promoter comes up to me and says, "Rich, tonight you earn respect of fan and respect of company. We want to take you to Ribera." And I'm like, wow, this is really something. People, like, in this business, and I know you said it a lot, like in this 5 minutes, like, people in this business scratch and crawl and climb to get this jacket, to talk about, oh, I've been to the Ribera Steak House. And I can actually say that I've earned the respect of the Japanese to get to the Ribera Steak House. And I went there, the steak was amazing. And they came out, the guy's wearing a mask. He was wearing a wrestling mask.
The waiter?
No, not the waiter, the chef.
Okay. The chef?
The chef was wearing a wrestling mask. And you're sitting in all this memorabilia. You got Rey Mysterio's picture. I keep on throwing them out there. Rey Mysterio, Bill Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, Steve Austin, John Bradshaw Layfield. You got all these guys, like, with their pictures on top of this wall all around the restaurant. And the chef comes up to me with the steak, and then he goes to the back and he pulls out 3 different coats, and he says, which one would you like? And I point at this one right here, because red is my favorite color. And I pick it up. He says, very good. Now you can have original. And gave me the original jacket also. The silver and black one, the ones that's Vader and Stan Hansen and The Undertaker. Like, it blew my mind. I loved it. And it's something that nobody will ever be able to take away from me.
I may steal it before we leave, so don't speak too soon.
I mean, you know, keep my mouth shut.
Unbelievable. You got the Ribera Steak House Jacket. I think, again, it takes a special fan or someone within the industry to realize what exactly that symbolizes.
Means. Yeah, like people who pay their way and try to take the easy way to get to Japan, you know, that's not respected upon, you know. Like, you gotta really earn the respect of the people over there to like really get this. And like people, they look at me and they're like, oh, it's just a jacket. No, it's not just a jacket.
It's more than a jacket.
It's more than a jacket. It's about respect. It's about earning respect.
Any idea when you're headed back to the land of the rising sun?
Sometime next year. Like, I'm taking a little break from them right now, and but I had to get a little bit refreshed. I was over there for about 2 years, so
non-stop.
Non-stop.
Really?
Like, I'd come home to America for Dragon Gate USA shows, and then go right back to Japan with them. Yeah, so I'd be home for like maybe 3 to 5 days, and then back to Japan for 3 months.
How Americanized were your living conditions over there?
In America?
No, when you lived in Japan.
Oh, and yeah, in Japan, not really. Like, I had to conform to the language. I had to conform to certain styles of living. It's a very weird culture over there, but again, like I said, it's very respectful. So they wouldn't, if I would do something that was American-like, they would not disrespect me, because that's how I was brought up, that's how I was raised. But they would expect me to look at them with respect if they were doing something that was out of character for somebody that came from the United States. Would you know what I mean? Like, so you got to give them their respect, they'll give you yours. That's all Japan is based on morals and respect.
Unbelievable. What an experience it's been. You're only 21 years old, and on top of everything else now, you're going to become a major part of everything we're doing here in the Millennium Wrestling Federation as President Bear, myself, Chairman Manolian, trying to mix things up a little bit compared to how things were under the John Cena, Sleesner era when he was the president, trying to play his little games that he is now playing down in the Carolinas. They can have all the fun with him they want, along with his little Indian buddy Dylan. But nonetheless, Rich, the countdown is on to Soul Survivor. I mean, and what kind of preparation are you going to do for the big event?
Oh,
I mean,
my
is there studying? Is there any kind of special workouts? I mean, I know you're going to be in Mexico. Will you have time to review footage?
Oh, yeah. I'm always reviewing footage. I'm wrestling, and then I go back to the hotel. I mean, I know I said I was talking about the beer fest. That was when I was 18. Now those partying days are behind me. I know I'm only
21.
I know I'm only 21, but I'm trying to make it in this profession.
I'm 32 and trying to hang on, but anyway.
But, you know, I'm trying to make it in this profession. I'm trying to make it in this sport. And the only way you're going to make it is if you're studying, if you're working hard, if you're dieting, if you're working out. Like, those 4 things alone, that will get you to the top. And that's what I've been doing for the past, 2 years. I've been busting my ass, working out, trying to make it to the top. And yes, I am going to be reviewing tapes. Yes, I am going to be studying. Yes, I am going to be working out, dieting, eating things that, no, I don't quite like. I like my eggs with the yolk in it. I don't know about you, but I like...
No, I have a phobia about certain foods. I'm not an egg man.
I love eggs. I love eggs.
There'll be no pizza.
I mean, well, I broke it today. I'll be honest. I'll be honest with the people. I broke it today, but that was only for today, and I was a little hungry. But...
Well, you had a long ride. We'll give you a little credit where credit is due.
I had a long ride.
Professional enough to be here for MWF Media Day, which we always appreciate here in the King of Sports, so you can familiarize yourself with the fans, so the fans
Exactly.
can know what you do.
Exactly.
Engage with you and so on and so
I love
forth.
engaging with the people.
There is, as I have probably got a little bit of what we call heat in the wrestling industry about some of my honest remarks, even though they are passionate remarks that are meant to try and encourage those that love this sport to try and improve themselves. We want everybody in the Millennium Wrestling Federation down at this TV studio. We want to let people see their personality, get to know them beyond the moves that they do in the ring. But you know what? Everybody hates me anyway. So
you know, I don't like
what else can I do?
You've done a whole bunch of good for me. You've done a whole bunch of good for me in the short time that I've known you, and I appreciate that.
Well, you know what? I don't buy a slice of pizza for just anyone. So, Rich, I look forward to having you back here December the 29th. It still feels like September. I just asked myself actually last week if it was after Christmas yet. I was trying to get ready for Holiday Headlocks with Ron Simmons. So I have lost my mind officially. But again, the big one, what more can we say? Carlito, the Boogeyman, the 12-man competition with 12 outstanding athletes.
Still not looking forward to those worms. That's every time you say the Boogeyman.
Well, Boogie's not in the competition. So unless you have some kind of an altercation with him, I don't think you're going to deal with the worms.
I hope not, because I'm going to stay away from him in the back, because the Boogeyman. Just think about that.
Well, and then he'll have the bank robber's mask on after the event, but that's a different story for a different time. But again, we'll have all the charity auctions, the raffles, the merchandise, all the WWE does for us. Again, thank you so much. It is just going to be a great night. The Autograph Photo Fan Fest. It is the most interactive experience in wrestling. Is in the Millennium Wrestling Federation. We believe in bringing to you the superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And I certainly believe if this gentleman right here isn't at that point, he is certainly well on his way throughout his travels here in the United States, Europe, going back to Mexico, Japan. The list continues to rise. I hope at one point to get the jacket that he has on. That is probably my last. That is probably. I think that's my bucket list, and then I'm done.
When I go back to Japan, I will pick you up a jacket. I will pick you up a jacket.
Well, if I have really earned it though, unless I'm actually there to have a masked chef bring it out to me.
You got a point there.
Do I have to earn it? Can I just accept it as a gift, or do I have to really earn it?
You can't accept it as a gift. You can say, this is what I'll say to you. You've earned it as a hard-working guy, as a hard-working promoter.
Well, I am only the Executive Vice President of Wrestling Operations. I don't want to upset President Bear, but nonetheless.
Paul Bear, I'm sorry.
It is, I would love to know the percentage of people that have any idea what we are talking about with this Ribera Steak House jacket. But it's a conversation worth having to those that do, because there is a lot of meaning to this coat.
There's a lot.
And I want the damn, I've been, honest to God, I have been having conversations in some way, shape, or form, whether it be humorous or serious, since probably 95.
Wow.
That's how. So you were 4 years old when I started lusting over a Ribera Steak House jacket.
What can I say?
That's a shoot.
What can I say? What can I say?
Wrestling fans, I don't know what I can say. As usual, our interviews go all over the place. But again, it has been a pleasure to have Rich with us. We look forward to seeing you December the 29th. I wish you luck.
Can't wait.
I know Ron Simmons is going to be joining us sometime soon. He's going to have predictions about what's going to be happening on the big night in Everett, Massachusetts. VIP packages on sale for Road to the Gold, as well as Soul Survivor, Saturday, March the 9th, from the historic Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts. Fans, there's no better gift you can give the wrestling fan on your holiday wish list. The most interactive experience in wrestling. We mentioned superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. They come together in one place, the Millennium Wrestling Federation. BostonWrestling.com is the place to be, 24/7 from any computer in the world. You can also join us on Facebook at facebook.com/MWF2001. And as always,
visit it.
Tweet us.
Tweet.
At MWF2001. For my good friend Rich Swann, the man that could do it all, on December the 29th, who knows? I am Dan Marani, out of voice once again, which makes for a good interview. We will see you next time on MWF Extra. Be well.